for purchasing a Juki sewing machine. We hope this DVD will be helpful for you to enjoy your sewing. To ensure your safety, turn off the power switch and unplug the power cord from its electrical outlet in these situations. While sewing, keep an eye on the needle and keep hands away from all the moving parts. The machine socket for the foot controller is located on the right-hand side of the sewing machine. Connect the plug of the foot controller into the machine socket and then the wall outlet. Press the power switch and the power light will turn on. The sewing machine can be stopped and started by using the foot controller. The machine begins operating when the foot controller is pressed and stops when the controller is released. The harder you press the foot controller, the faster the machine will sew. The lighter you press it, the slower the machine will sew. Press down the reverse lever while sewing. The machine will sew reverse stitches. Choose your desired stitch pattern by turning the stitch selector dial. Set the stitch length dial to S for sewing patterns on the second row. You can adjust the stitch length by using the stitch length adjusting dial. Set the dial to a smaller number for a shorter stitch and to a larger number for a longer stitch. You can adjust the stitch width by using the stitch width dial. Set the dial to a larger number for a wider stitch and to a smaller number for a narrower stitch. In case the thread tension is not correctly set, adjust the tension by using the upper thread tension dial. Set the dial to a larger number for a stronger tension and to a smaller number for a weaker tension. For normal sewing, set the dial to 4. If you need to adjust the presser foot pressure, turn the presser adjusting screw with a coin. For sewing very thin fabric, loosen the pressure by turning the screw counterclockwise, and for heavy fabric, tighten by turning it clockwise. As you can see, the accessory parts are stored in the accessory box. For free arm sewing, remove the auxiliary bed. For free motion sewing or attaching a button, remove the auxiliary bed and move the drop feed knob to the left side to lower the feed dog. Turn the power switch off before changing the presser foot. Raise the presser foot. Press the presser foot release lever to remove the presser foot. To attach the new presser foot, align the pin on the presser foot and the groove on the presser foot holder. Carefully lower the presser foot holder with the presser foot lever. Pull the hook cover release button to the right to remove the hook cover. Then take out the bobbin. Place the thread spool on the spool pin and attach the spool holder. For small thread spools, place the small side of the spool holder next to the spool. Snap thread into the thread guide. Wind thread clockwise around the bobbin winder tension discs. Pull the thread through the hole in the bobbin from the inside out. Place the bobbin on the spindle. Hold the end of the thread and push the bobbin spindle to the right until it clicks. Press the foot controller and start winding. Once the bobbin thread is partially wound, temporarily stop the machine and cut the thread from the hole. Restart the machine and continue winding until you have enough thread. Stop the machine when you have enough thread. The bobbin will begin spinning freely once the bobbin thread is fully wound. Promptly stop the sewing machine at this time. Return the bobbin spindle to its original position. Remove the bobbin and cut the thread. Place the bobbin into the bobbin holder. Before putting the bobbin in place, make sure that the thread winds counterclockwise. Feed the thread through slot A and B on the front side. Then pull it towards the back. Finally, close the hook cover. Bobbin setting is now complete. Always turn the power switch off before threading the upper thread. Raise the presser foot. Turn the hand wheel to raise the thread take-up lever to the highest position. Snap thread into the thread guide. Guide thread around the thread guide, pulling thread through the pre-tension spring. Pass the thread through the thread take-up lever from right to left. When you come to the guide on the needle bar, pass the thread from the right side. Lower the presser foot and lower the automatic needle threader. Wind the thread around the hook. Pull the thread in front of the needle so that the thread will insert into the hook from bottom to top. Release the lever. Pull the thread through the needle eye. To pick up the bobbin thread, first raise the presser foot and gently hold the end of the upper thread. Turn the hand wheel towards you to move the needle up and down once. Pull the upper thread gently to pull through the bobbin thread. Pull out both upper and bobbin threads and pass them under the presser foot towards the back of the machine. Select pattern A with the pattern selector dial. Turn the hand wheel towards you to lower the needle to a starting position. Lower the presser foot and press the foot controller to begin sewing. Stop the sewing machine by releasing your foot from the foot controller when it comes to the sewing end. Raise the needle and raise the presser foot, lifting the lever to remove the fabric. Lastly, cut the threads by using the thread cutter located on the face cover. To change the sewing direction, stop the machine just before the point where you want to change direction. Then continue sewing slowly until you reach the exact point where you want to change direction. When you get to the point you want, lift the presser foot with the needle left in the fabric. Change the sewing direction, then lower the presser foot again and start the machine. To sew reverse stitches at the sewing start and sewing end, At the desired point, lower the reverse stitch lever. You can change the needle position of straight stitch by using the stitch width adjusting dial. Choose your needle position from center position to left needle position by changing the dial from 0 to 7. You can change the stitch length by using the stitch length adjusting dial. Set the dial to a smaller number for a shorter stitch and to a larger number for a longer stitch. Select pattern B with the pattern selector dial. Adjust the stitch length and the stitch width with the control dials. The overlock stitch is used to prevent fabric edges from fraying. Select the overlock stitch with the pattern selector dial. Adjust the stitch length and the stitch width with the control dials. When you sew an overlock stitch, it is important that the needle goes over the edge of the fabric. Use the buttonhole foot for this stitch. Attach the buttonhole foot and set the pattern selection dial to buttonhole. Adjust the stitch length and the stitch width with the control dials. Lower the presser foot aligning the marks on the foot with the marks on the fabric. Open the button plate and insert the button. Lower the buttonhole lever and push it back slightly. While gently holding the upper thread, start the machine. After you finish buttonhole sewing, remove the fabric and cut both threads. Use the ripper tool to open the buttonhole. Using a stopper pin as shown will prevent you from cutting the stitches. The buttonhole is now complete. Turn the power switch off before changing the needle. Use household sewing machine needles. Turn the hand wheel until the needle reaches its highest position and lower the presser foot. Next, loosen the needle set screw by using the special screwdriver which comes with your sewing machine. Then, turn the needle set screw and remove the needle. Hold the needle with its flat part facing away from you and insert it fully until it touches the stopper pin. Then securely tighten the needle set screw. We hope that this DVD has given you a better understanding of your new sewing machine. If you have any further questions, please refer to your instruction manual. We hope you will enjoy your sewing.